Chapter 3. A Day in Telluride. The morning sun bathed Telluride in a warm, golden light as Cadence, Sunder, and I prepared to embark on our day as locals. We met outside Sweet Serenity, where I had devised an itinerary that would showcase the beauty and talent of our charming town. "Are you ready for a day of adventure, Cadence?" I asked, a playful grin on my face. He looked at me with a mix of excitement and curiosity. I have to admit, I'm looking forward to it. I've never experienced anything quite like this. I nodded, eager to show him a side of Telluride that he had yet to discover. Well, let's get started then. Our first stop is a hike through the lush forests that surround our town. We made our way to the trailhead, the sound of birdsong and the rustling of leaves welcoming us to the wilderness. Cadence, dressed in more practical attire this time, looked around in awe. "I never knew Telluride had such beautiful hiking trails," he admitted. I smiled, leading the way. "That's the thing about our town, it's full of hidden treasures." As we hiked deeper into the forest, the scent of pine and earth surrounded us. I explained the different types of flora and fauna we encountered, and Cadence seemed genuinely interested in learning about the natural beauty that Telluride had to offer. As we reached a clearing at the end of the trail, Cadence's eyes widened in amazement at the breathtaking view of the mountains and valleys below. The sun hung low in the sky, casting a warm glow over the landscape. "This is incredible," he whispered. I nodded, taking in the view myself. "This is one of my favorite spots in Telluride. It's where I come when I need to clear my head." We sat down on a large rock, taking in the beauty of the natural world around us. It was a serene moment, one that felt far removed from the bustling city life Cadence was accustomed to. As the day went on, I showed Cadence more of Telluride's hidden treasures. We rode horses along winding trails, sampled artisanal cheeses at the local creamery, and even tried our hand at fly fishing in the pristine mountain streams. With each activity, I watched as Cadence's city veneer gradually faded away, replaced by a sense of wonder and appreciation for the town's charm. Our next stop was a visit to the Telluride Historical Museum, a quaint building nestled in the heart of town. Inside, we were greeted by a friendly docent named Martha, a longtime resident of Telluride who had a wealth of stories to share. I introduced Cadence to Martha, and she welcomed us with a warm smile. "Welcome to the Telluride Historical Museum. I'll be your guide today." Martha led us through the exhibits, sharing tales of the town's mining history, its colorful characters, and the evolution of Telluride from a bustling mining town to the vibrant community it was today. Cadence listened intently, asking questions and showing a genuine interest in the town's past. I watched as he soaked in the stories, his curiosity shining through. As we explored the museum, we stumbled upon a section dedicated to local artists. The walls were adorned with vibrant paintings and sculptures created by talented Telluride residents. Cadence stopped in front of a particularly striking painting, his eyes fixed on it. "This is beautiful. Who's the artist?" Martha smiled. "That's the work of Sarah Mitchell, a talented artist who calls Telluride home. Her pieces capture the essence of our town." I couldn't help but chime in. "Sarah is incredibly talented. Her art reflects the heart and soul of Telluride." Cadence looked at me with admiration. "I'd love to meet her someday." As we left the museum, Martha handed us a brochure for a local art gallery walk happening later in the week. "If you're interested in art, you should check out the gallery walk. It's a great way to connect with our local artists." Cadence nodded, tucking the brochure into his pocket. "I'll definitely do that." After our visit to the museum, we stopped by a cozy cafe for lunch. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee and the sounds of cheerful chatter filled the air. We ordered sandwiches and sat at a corner table by the window. Over lunch, we continued our conversation about Telluride and our shared experiences. Cadence confessed that he had never felt so connected to a place before, and I couldn't help but smile. "That's the magic of Telluride," I said. "It has a way of making you feel like you belong." Cadence looked at me, his eyes filled with a warmth that sent a shiver down my spine. "I've felt more at home here in the past few weeks than I have in a long time." I blushed, unable to tear my gaze away from him. The connection between us had deepened throughout the day, and I couldn't deny the attraction that simmered beneath the surface. After lunch, we strolled through Telluride's charming streets, stopping at local shops and boutiques. Cadence marveled at the craftsmanship of handmade jewelry, the creativity of local artists, and the warmth of the shop owners who greeted us like old friends. As the day wore on, we found ourselves in a quaint park, where a local musician strummed his guitar and sang folk songs. Cadence and I sat on a bench, the music washing over us. "This is the real Telluride," I said, a soft smile on my face. "A place where art and music thrive, and where the sense of community is strong." Cadence nodded, his gaze fixed on the musician. "I can see that now." As the sun began to set, we made our way to the Telluride gondola, a free cable car that offered stunning views of the town and the surrounding mountains. Cadence seemed awestruck by the beauty of the landscape as we glided through the sky. At the top, we stepped out of the gondola and onto a viewing platform. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of pink and orange. The town of Telluride sparkled below us, a picture-perfect scene. Cadence turned to me, his eyes filled with gratitude. "Lily, this has been an incredible day. Thank you for showing me your world." I smiled, feeling a warmth in my heart. "You're welcome, Cadence. I'm glad you got to experience Telluride in a different light." He reached out and gently brushed a strand of hair from my face. "Telluride isn't the only thing I've fallen for today." My heart skipped a beat as he leaned in, and our lips met in a sweet, lingering kiss. It was a moment filled with the magic of a town that had brought two people from vastly different worlds together. As the sun set and the stars began to twinkle overhead, Cadence and I held each other close, savoring the connection that had deepened throughout our day in Telluride. The more I saw him fall for the town, the more I started to wonder if he could ever fall for me. But as the night grew darker, a nagging doubt crept into my mind. Cadence Sunder didn't belong in my world, and I didn't belong in his. He was a flame, and I was gasoline, and the more we played with fire, the more I found myself questioning how long we could continue to tempt our fate.